Am I the asshole for hiding my girlfriend's heels before going to my sister's wedding? To start, I'm going to mention that I'm your typical 5 feet 6 short guy. I hate myself for it, I'm openly insecure about it and have exhausted all solutions to fix this issue. I met my girlfriend 6 months ago, she met my family and they embraced her right away. My sister invited her to her wedding and mentioned including her in the wedding photos. I asked my girlfriend what shoes she was going to wear and she showed me a pair of high heels that would have basically made her look 2x taller than me. I asked if she could consider wearing sandals instead since there were going to be photos and I didn't want to look like a gnome standing next to her. She called me silly and brushed off my concerns, which was not appreciated. On the day of the wedding, I hid her pair of high heels. She has only one set in the apartment because she moved out all the old ones after I asked her to. She tried looking for them and really seemed to think something strange happened. I started telling her to hurry up so we could get to the venue on time and she ended up wearing flat sandals as a replacement. Everything went well, and I gave her high heels back once we got home. She was shocked when she saw me holding them. I admitted hiding them for the reasons I stated above and she got mad at me and said that I shouldn't have done that and forced her to wear sandals that completely didn't match with the dress. She kept saying I got what I wanted, but she will forever look awkward in those photos wearing those sandals. I do think she had every reason to be upset with me, but what was I supposed to do after I made my wishes clear and she brushed them off knowing full well how I felt about those high heels? So am I the asshole? I really thought of it as a harmless move and I think she might have overreacted.
You the asshole. You deal with your insecurities yourself. After being told no, you don't get to force her to do what you want. Your feelings are not more important than hers. Am I the asshole for refusing to sell my horse? I and my boyfriend have been dating for around 9 months. I've been riding horses since around 4 years old when I started taking lessons. When I was 10 I started helping out this girl at the stable with her horse lady. At 12 she told her she had to sell due to time, interest and asked if I and my parents wanted to buy lady. Luckily for me, my parents were able to buy her and she's been mine ever since. She's my best friend and I love her a lot. When I started to date him BF I was very honest with the fact that my horse takes a lot of time and he was fine with this. When single I could spend like 3 to 4 hours a day in the stable, but as we started dating I cut this down to about 3 hours every other day, as this is roughly how long it takes for me to do all the cleaning, preparing food, riding. Also, most of my friends are at the stable, which obviously means this is also social for me. The other days I would not ride and try to spend less time talking, which would make it about an hour. After about 6 months he told me I spent too much time at the stable and I should prioritize my relationship more. Somehow his family got involved and said it was strange to prioritize the way I did. I wasn't comfortable with this, but I am a bit of a pushover, so I agreed. At first, this meant cutting down time at the stable, but it has evolved into cutting down riding days. Now I ride about 2 days a week and the rest I'm simply there to do the basics. All of this as quickly as I can because otherwise, I know he'll be annoyed and pissed off for days and give me the silent treatment. I know my horse isn't really suffering from not being ridden as often as before, but I still feel very guilty that I'm always rushing around her. Then last night he told me it was time to sell lady. I laughed at him and asked if he was serious. He was. I told him no and he said I needed to start prioritizing this relationship more, and I said I've done nothing but prioritize this relationship. We argued about it and he apparently thinks I can just put her down as she's old anyway. I was furious at this and told him that was absolutely not happening and I would never sell her. He said that any reasonable person would sell or put down their horse in favor of their boyfriend, and the only reason I wouldn't is that I only hang out with other insane horse people. So I come to you, reasonable people of Reddit, am I the asshole? Edit. So I never expected this to get as much attention as it did. I'm very overwhelmed and thankful for all your kind comments and messages. I am currently sitting with Lady in her stable crying my eyes out because this has been such a wake-up call for me. My boyfriend left to visit his family and friends in his old town earlier today before I posted, so everyone worried. All is well for now and I will handle this ASAP. First I need to go home and sleep. Thank you all for being wonderful heart. Holy not the asshole. Your BF sounds controlling AF. You've worked hard to compromise with him, but he keeps moving the line until he eventually gets everything he wants, and you have sacrificed everything important to you. A lot of abusive partners start the cycle by trying to isolate their partners. You have a whole support network at the barn and he wants you to give all that up in addition to your horse who is like a member of your family to you. This is super messed up and a huge red flag. I know it really hurts, but be grateful he's shown you who he really is and how he doesn't prioritize or frankly care about your feelings and well-being. I'd run, not walk away from this guy. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he cared more about his bathroom time than his kid? I am married to a man. Together we have 2 children. His daughter, and a son we shared. We've been married for 6 years. We have the older girl on a 50-50 schedule. The way it works out, she is at our house typically 3 to 4 nights a week and then her mother's house the same amount of time. A big area of conflict between my husband and me is that he feels he doesn't get enough time with his child. We fight about it all the time. And I'm not really sure how to help him with this. He has been divorced for 10 years and the custody schedule he has had been in place since long before I came into the picture. Years. Recently he has been working only part-time, so he is off 100% of the time she is here, even if she's at school. And I took a second job so we could work the logistics financially. Because I really wanted to help him with this. Our day-to-day schedule looks a lot like I get up with the kids and get them off to school, then I go to work. Since hubby has to be at work at 5 a.m. the days he works I let him sleep in when he is off. The kids do aftercare after school until I get off from work. I go pick them up around 4:45 p.m. When we get home hubby will talk to the kids for about 10 to 15 minutes while I walk the dogs. Then my son will watch TV while my stepdaughter and I will do her homework. My husband will take this as an opportunity to go to the bathroom. Around 5:30-6 I'll start cooking dinner while stepdaughter and son play. At this point every single day my husband is still in the bathroom. Around 6:30 I will knock and tell him dinner is on the table. It takes him roughly 15 to 20 minutes to come to eat with us. As soon as dinner is over he excuses himself back into the bathroom. The kids and I clean the kitchen and then they do their baths etc. and around 8:30 I will knock again for him to come to tuck in our son. Husband and stepdaughter will hang out for about an hour while I do the house chores and then I will go walk SD up to bed and hubby will take his shower and go to bed himself. I walk the dogs again and then do the same. So the other night my husband told my stepdaughter she didn't have to go to bed on time and I pulled him aside and reminded him she had a big test the next day and past performance has proven she needs effective rest the night before. After she went to bed we had another all-out fight over how he feels it's my fault he never spent time with her. I yelled at him that if he didn't spend hours every night in the bathroom he would have more time with her while she is awake. Something else is going on with him because if he even cared about her he would make time for her the way I do. He has not spoken to me in 4 days even though I have tried to say I'm sorry so many times so I know I really hurt him. I think I may be the asshole because I know this is the one thing he is most insecure about and I threw it into his face in a moment of anger. So, am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You're working 2 jobs and doing the cooking and the bulk of the childcare and he's pooping? Unless you're putting laxatives in his food, I fail to see how any of this is your fault.